Hi, this is Chad, VP of Products at Slate Digital, and in this video we're going to take a look at the SD Chorus bundle, a set of new modules for the Virtual Mix Rack plugin. Now, the Virtual Mix Rack plugin is itself a plugin host in a way. It presents you with an empty rack in which you can load a bunch of little processing modules, and these modules typically perform one function, like an EQ or a gate or a compressor. And what we've done now is we've added kind of a new category to VMR, and that is one of effects. Up till now, we haven't actually had any effects in VMR, but now with the introduction of the choruses, we do. Now, what is a chorus? Why is this different from the EQs and compressors in there so far? Well, what this is going to be doing is it's going to be doubling up the audio that comes in or tripling it up and start applying like detuning and some time shifting to the copies of the audio so that you get multiple voices from one input signal. And that's essentially what a chorus is trying to do. It's like a chorus of singers. You can hear what it sounds like when one person sings, but when 3 people or 4 people try to sing that same part together, it ends up being richer somehow because those voices aren't all exactly the same. They're trying to sing the same thing, but there's slight time and pitch differences that end up not quite lining up and creating a more lush sound, which our ears really like. And so this does it electronically by making copies of the audio coming in and applying some LFOs to the pitch and delay so that you get these slightly out of tune copies in the left and right, which then mimics sort of a chorus. But you can do this with anything. It doesn't just need to be voices. Any sound you pass through this thing can get chorused up. So let's take a look at how to use this thing, some like tips and tricks, and yeah, let's see why there's actually 2 modules in here instead of just 1. All right, so this is the SDD Chorus, and it's quite faithful to the original hardware. The original hardware was a 2-height rack unit, which basically just had a flat black face on it, and this little group of buttons up in the corner. And they just choose between chorus modes 1, 2, and 3 and engage in overdrive. So put on your headphones. Let's take a listen to how the chorus affects these drums to start with. Dry drums with chorus. Chorus 2. Okay, the LFO is slower on that one. I think the delay's a little longer. And chorus 3. Also think that's a longer delay. Doesn't get as short. Yeah, so that's it. 1, 2, 3. That's how this thing works. Well, there's a little more to it than that. This 4th button down here in conjunction with this screw can be used to enhance any of the 3 modes that you've already got running. So, mode 1, turn on the enhancer, crank this up. Some serious chorus there. Yeah, it's a real short one because it almost has a sort of phaser kind of whoosh kind of sound to it. Yeah, 3's a lot longer. So now while you can hear it doing something, it's not necessarily exactly what you want on drums. Chorus typically isn't used there. It's used more on pitched instruments and sounds. But it can be used as a sound design tool to add some stereo width. But it does, as you can hear, kind of come at the cost of transients. So I would recommend, if you want to use some chorus on some drums, to apply it only on specific drum sounds. So like, let's turn off the bus and just go to the snare here. And let's just turn on the reverb on the chorus on the snare. Like this. There we go. Okay, but now we've got another problem here. If we're listening, that snare sounds different every time it hits. That was MIDI, that was lower. It was kind of beefy, kind of thin. And that's because the LFOs that are controlling the pitch and time changes are running free. And so they're not always in the same exact place every time the snare hits. But that's one of the features that we've added onto the SDD Chorus module that comes in the bundle. So if we turn this one off and we just turn this one on, One of the features you'll see here in the middle is you can actually access the LFO. This wasn't possible on the original hardware, but since we were able to get in there and analyze it all, we've been able to recreate it. And one of the things we've also added is the ability to sync this LFO to the project. And when that is on, so when this is on and synced to quarter notes, for example, now this LFO is going to be in the same place every time that snare hits, like this. Right? The LFO is always right here when that snare hits. And so the sound is consistent. We get the same sounding snare every time it hits because the LFO is synced up. Nice. So there we go. Nice 80s sounding drums. Some good chorus spread on the snare. Let's keep going. Let's take a look at a bass sound here. So analog bass sounds like this. With some chorus. Definitely comes to life. In fact, get it to really come to life. But we've got a problem again here. Similar to how the drums were getting their transients a little messed up because multiple copies of the drums were being mixed together, the bass, the fundamental bass frequency of this bass is getting kind of messed up because of the chorus. That's because the same low note is being reapplied on top of itself, slightly detuned. And if we were to listen to just the low frequencies, I'm going to turn on this filter. This is what it sounds like on the low end right now. But if we turn this off, there, now you can hear it's just right in the middle, solid, pure, nice tone from the bass. We want to keep that. And so that's the purpose of this HP cutoff slider here on the top. By moving this up, everything below this frequency will remain unchorused. So when I turn this chorus back on, our bass still sounds okay, right? If I move this down, right now the bass got stereo and kind of washy. Put right about there. Now it goes away. But we still have the chorus frequencies up on the top, right? So without chorus and with chorus. But the bass is still solid right where it needs to be in the mix. So that's an excellent, excellent feature here with that cutoff slider. All right, well, let's take a look at this synth part here. I believe this is a sustained chord. Yes, it is. And it'll just sound like this. But this gives us an opportunity to really hear what's going on here in the custom view. Obviously, we can set the LFO speed wherever we want. We can randomize the shape, so it just does drunk sort of stuff all the time. Or we can design the shape using the bias and smooth controls. And we can also choose how far the delay modulation should go. So it gets really wild sounding. Right? If we go back to something like this, maybe sync it up again. Now we hear that rhythmic thing. If I play something rhythmic under there, now I have the notes lining up with where the LFO loops around. Almost goes like right at the end. So with no effect, boring. With effect, and we can just keep on going. Guitar, with some width. Nice. And we can even go full 80s. so now we've got this kind of nice synthwave, vaporwave kind of track. The 80s nature of this chorus really comes through. It's awesome. So there you go, chorus made easy. Just load up the SDD Chorus module, press one of the mode buttons, and you're chorusing. But to chorus like a pro, you need to have an intuitive understanding of how a chorus is going to affect whatever material you put it on. And the best way to learn that is trying it out on your own music. Now, if you already subscribe to the All Access Pass or Complete Access bundle, then you can just load up Slate Digital Connect right now, download the update, and immediately start using the chorus modules in your own music. But if you're not yet a subscriber, head on over to slatedigital.com and sign up for the Complete Access Bundle trial subscription. This will give you access to the Chorus bundle, plus all the modules for the virtual mix rack, and actually all the plugins that Slate Digital makes, plus the plugins from SSL and Harrison Audio, as well as some of our third-party partners. It's over 100 plugins. And on top of that, you'll get access to the Slate Sounds sample library, the Virtue Assisted Mastering System, and the Academy educational videos. It's a great value, all for one affordable subscription price. Check it out. It'll help you get your music to the next level. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.